Today I'm going to share with you a personal story, and I wanted to put a disclaimer out there. It is my personal story, and this medical condition that I had, it's relative to my body. Whatever advice I give, know that it's based on my own personal story, and you should always seek your doctor's advice ultimately for any medical conditions that you may have. So today I want to share with you how I had gestational diabetes during my 2 pregnancies. Gestational diabetes is a condition that you normally only have during your pregnancy. It's a type of diabetes that only lasts through the pregnancy durations. And it is basically your body, because of the hormones of the pregnancy it's producing, as a baby gets larger, your body, for some of us, produces higher blood sugar. The levels of sugar in your blood is so high, and your baby is reacting to that. And again, that you don't find out about gestational diabetes until your 2nd trimester, which is about 20 weeks of pregnancy. Your gynecologist will start to test you for what your blood sugar levels are, and the test is a glucose test, and that test is given during the 2nd trimester of pregnancy. As the baby's getting larger, the high levels of sugar in your blood has an impact on you, the mother, and also an impact on the child. So I want to talk about what that impact is, and how I was diagnosed, and also what is a long-term impact to myself and also to my children. All right, so I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes around 20 weeks of pregnancy. They gave me this therapy drink to take, and I had to wait an hour, and then they tested what my blood sugar level was. So when they tested for my level was high, and I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes. And I think they check for you for certain factors. I had my first pregnancy when I was higher in age, and also I was a little bit overweight for my age, not too much, maybe 20 pounds overweight. And even though I was active, I like to go out and eat, and I did certain things that caused that 20 pounds over the weight. And also they say that it could be because of it's higher risk in certain races like Blacks, American Indians, Asians. Not to say that the races are not affected, but this seems to be a higher risk in those races. And also if you have a family history of diabetes. Again, the cause is not exactly known, but those are the contributing factors to having gestational diabetes during your pregnancy. So basically, once I was diagnosed, I had to take some education on how to make sure I was safe during my pregnancy, and whatever actions I was doing would not affect my baby, and that my baby was safe. Because blood sugar can affect the baby's growth. Mostly people that have gestational diabetes can have large babies, which can cause complications during birth and also for the child. So this could be serious, where it could be fatal to the point where you could have a stillbirth. So it was important for me to learn how to manage this diagnosis and make sure there was no impact to myself or my child. So when I went, they basically go over what nutrition should be. Again, the nutrition wasn't ethnic, and I had to basically do some improvisations to that diet plan that they gave me. So they walk you through how to eat, what type of foods to eat, and which ones you could have more of and which ones you should have less of. So they give you a whole booklet. It's thick. I mean, you go through a couple of things. What I wish they could have, again, is more ethnic food choices. So that'll be something to look at and work on in the future, and collaborate with nutritionists on. The other thing is to have an exercise plan where you're moving. So not only through diet, but also staying fit, physical exercise, you can manage your blood sugar and bring it low. And finally, in my case, I had to have a kit. And that kit was basically I have to measure my blood sugar 4 times a day, which was so different for me, but it's my baby. I care about my baby, so whatever it took, I'm prepared to do, just like any other mothers would. So I had to have this kid. I had to prick my finger and stick put the blood on like a little flat spool that I had to stick into this gadget that reads your blood sugar. So once I'll do it, I'll take my little blood and I'll be able to measure what my blood sugar is throughout the day. I had to stay below a certain range for me to be in a safe area. That was not easy, but you know that if you do this, your baby will be fine and you will be fine as well. So that was hard to get used to. You may also need to take insulin. In my case, I did not have to take insulin. So just doing that kid and checking my blood 4 times a day was enough. So the next thing I had to do was look at what I was eating. And I love rice. I hope who else is out there that likes rice? And also, I'm not really crazy about potatoes, but anything starchy. We also have other starchy foods that we eat with our my local diet. And I had to really watch that. I had to measure it. How much I could have. I basically had to watch the calories of how many carbohydrates I was taking on every meal. So I could do it in a way where I could also have a dessert, but whenever I had a dessert, I had to make sure I worked out or walked or did something that it can have a little bit of dessert, but not too much. So that was something that I had to do throughout the rest of my second trimester, and making sure I ate a lot more vegetables and little carbs and protein, healthy protein, cut down on the fatty foods and such. So those are the things that you have to basically watch what you eat, and also you have to get moving, physical exercise. And and it may be hard for you. Some of the things that I struggled with this diet was not being able to eat my favorite foods. We have this thing called jollof rice that we eat. It's just basically rice and sauce, red sauce. And I had to cut back on that. Also sweets, whenever I eat anything like that, then my blood sugar wasn't high. And I had to make an adjustment, if anything at all, if I was close to that number. So I always had to check it and make sure that I wasn't over. And it wasn't easy, but I knew that I had to keep my baby safe, and I didn't want my baby to be huge and to have complications at birth for myself as well. So, I looked to friends, I looked to family for support, and also my healthcare professionals to motivate me to help me to hang in there till the pregnancy was done. And I'm able to say, with all the struggles and everything that I had to do during the pregnancy, I didn't have the diabetes after the pregnancy was over. I was back to normal. So I treated myself for all the hard work I did to have the baby. My first baby was a good size, 7 pounds. I mean, it wasn't huge. It wasn't a 9-pound baby. My second baby also was a little bit bigger, but wasn't excessively huge. And they are thriving well today. I can see the results of all the hard work has paid off. And so that was, the first part.